Hello and welcome everyone to You Could Do That on Television. I'm your host, Mohanad and
And I'm your host, Hannah Wright. And today we are joined by a very special guest, Savannah Louie from Survivor.
What's up? What's
Welcome.
up? Thank you. Happy to be here with you guys.
Yes,
Yeah, we're so
yes,
happy
we
to
are
have you.
taking a little break from our America's Next Top Model recap to bring it back to Survivor recap, which we were doing right before America's Next Top Model. So this is perfect.
I mean, we technically do have America's top model, but for another show.
Who, me?
Yeah. Well,
No.
the top model for Survivor.
Oh, okay. So like how to basically play the game. I
Well,
mean,
exactly.
honestly,
hmm
I was gonna say it depends on who you ask. Because with Survivor, so much luck is involved nowadays. Like you got to be good at the game, but
Hmm.
you're also so lucky.
I get that. Yeah, but it's also like I mean, it's a social game too, which is I feel like sometimes is hard to balance. Because we're watching the new season of Survivor, and we
Yes.
talked about this a little bit, me and Hannah, when Ozzy got eliminated. I
Mm.
feel like I feel like he has a like he's socially good and everything, but I feel like he passed the line where he just
Uh,
became too close to everyone, where he
he's
felt
just too
so betrayed.
trusting. I
Exactly.
was so surprised that he's been playing this show for so long and he's so trusting of everyone.
Dude, you know what's crazy about Survivor, and in particular, the people who play the game Survivor? You might think that you are social butterfly and that you can get along with everybody in real life. Maybe that's true, but when you're playing Survivor, a lot of the people on that island are like the top of the top when it comes to social connections and charisma. And so the
Yeah.
people who like even aren't socially well-rounded on the show, in real life, they're like, A plus when it comes to a social game. It's just so hard when you get out there and the competition is so fierce. That's one of the things I feel like the TV doesn't necessarily portray is how social everybody out there really is.
Mm.
No, and that's the thing that I feel like we've talked about that would absolutely break me. Not the physical challenges, obviously, I would thrive at those, and the surviving aspect. No, but the social, like manipulation and people being nice to you and then doing something. I'm way too emotionally fragile for that. I would have a mental breakdown on day one. So it's
I
very
know. It's
impressive
it
to
no.
navigate.
No, yeah, I totally agree because I feel like maybe it's the edit too, but I feel like you can never know who's gonna get voted out because before the vote, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we got, for example, Sage, 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 Sage," and then you go to the thing and you're like, "Did you have a different conversation before you came in that we didn't see?" Because everyone agreed on someone completely different.
Dude, that's one of the things, and I think you kind of touched on it, is the editing of the show, right? Because when you get to the tribal council, obviously production wants to make it a little suspenseful, even if most people on the tribe are on the same page, right? So they have to kind
hmm
of show us every type of conversation that is happening on the beach.
Mhm.
And when you're out there, seriously, everybody's name just to some degree is thrown out there and is discussed. Whether or not it's totally serious and viable, like that's one
hmm
thing, but like you will probably hear if there's 10 people on the tribe, you might hear like 8 of those names thrown out.
hmm
It just really depends on
Right.
which ones actually take off and resonate with most people out there.
So
Yeah.
the audience clearly like has no idea what's going on going into most
Right.
tribal councils, but I assume you guys have come to more or less a consensus.
Yeah, and like there'll be a couple times. I mean, if you've watched the show to an extent, you'll see something
hmm
with what viewers and what Jeff calls live tribal, which is basically during the
Hmm.
tribal council, people start to get up, they start to whisper, they start to have conversations about who
Yeah.
should actually go home. Even in those situations, though, where there is a live tribal and it seems like things are changing in real time, I feel like maybe it changes in real time like 1 out of 7 or 8 times. Usually,
Hmm.
that decision for who is going home, in my experience, is almost always made before you leave that beach, and it's just that common consensus.
But
Yeah. The
the
live
person who
tribals, I
get
feel like
yeah.
those would fuck me up because I would be like, wait, but is that real? Like, are we really doing that or are we just saying that?
Yeah, is this just
Guys,
drama?
tell me what to do.
Dude, and that's like not only the name of the live tribal is like is this legit, but like honestly the whole time leading up to tribal council, because when you're on that beach, before, even hours before you go to tribal, you're having conversations with everybody from the people that you're working very closely with, who you've been working with for the
Mm,
entire game, to people who you've been on the opposite side of the boat from every single time and you have no plan
Right.
on working together, but you still have to kind of like, do this song and dance and say, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm definitely going to work with you. Like, let's vote together this time. And you both kind of know that you're BSing
right.
each other, but it's
Yeah.
literally just part of this game. And honestly, like, I think it kind of translates to real life too, right? Like, how many times in the workplace have you kind of just BS someone and said, oh, yeah, like, we're getting along, we're on the same team, we're going to do this together, when in your head, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like, I cannot stand this person.
It's like, let's meet up for drinks so soon. Like, I'll call you.
Girl,
We're
literally the
not meeting
same
up for
exact
drinks.
situation, except one's in Fiji, the other one's in your hometown.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's amazing that you touched it on this a little bit on the show, like the whole toxic work place situation that you had and everything. And I feel like you winning the show made people think maybe I shouldn't be mean to someone because they might go on Survivor and win.
You know what's wild? Before and when the season had just started, my first season had just started, I heard from a ton of people who came out of the woodworks, from people from
Hmm.
high school who I haven't talked to in like over a decade,
Yeah.
college friends, people from former workplaces. But I actually heard from some of those coworkers who were not very nice to me. And it was so
Mm.
awkward. Because,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like F you, like we're
Right.
like five,
Yeah.
7 years removed from this. Like I move on, we all move on. The trauma's
Hmm.
still kind of there a little bit, but I'm not like angry about it today. Once that episode aired though, I like, because some of them have been texting me throughout the season, and my
Oh my
answers would be
God.
very
Oh my
limited back.
God.
They stopped responding. So they like kind of knew,
Wow.
and it was just, it's
Yeah.
been crazy. I heard from other people too who had worked in the same building, but were not
Mm.
necessarily on my team, who said like, dude, like I didn't know it was that bad. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Um,
Mm.
and then, I felt really bad about this, but I heard from people at other workplaces that I had been, where I actually enjoyed my team. And like
Oh, they
people on the
thought you were
team,
talking about them.
yes. And I'm like,
Oh
no, like I
no.
love you
No.
guys. Like this was an amazing experience. Like I'm talking
They're like, what
about
did I
something
say? Oh my
totally
God.
different. Exactly. So
That is so funny.
That's
yeah, it was
so
So
funny.
crazy.
we're also like wondering, like when you were on the show, obviously you've watched the show, you're familiar with the edits and everything. While you're playing the game, are you ever like, what type of edit am I getting right now?
It's so funny. Oh my God. So before I even went out there, like my boyfriend said it, my mom said it, my brother said it. Everybody was like, Savannah, you're probably going to get the villain edit.
Really?
And I listened to, so Jeff Probst, he used to have a podcast, and in his podcast, after a player was eliminated, he would kind of talk about the player. And so after I won season 49, he talked a little bit about me. And, he even said Savannah's going to be one of those players before the season even started. He said this to his team, where people either love her or they hate her. And well, maybe not hate. Hate's a very strong word, but like either they're
Right.
going to like you or they're really not going to
Mm-hmm.
be on board with you. And so I kind of felt that in my soul. But my reason for being out there was to be myself and not to show a filtered version of myself. When I worked in news, it was always such a filtered, best foot
Mm.
forward version of myself. And the thing with reality TV is, for better or worse, you're going to know me. And if you like me, you like me for me. If you don't like me, that's okay too. But at least you don't like me for who I actually am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I feel like your edit was interesting though, because you didn't, in my view, get like a villain edit. You weren't like mean to anyone, but you got the like not here to make friends, here to win kind of edit, where it's like she's good at this game and she's like no nonsense. And that is like threatening to people in a way.
Yeah, I totally, dude. And I feel like it's just so different from a lot of the typical winner edits that we see on the show. Usually the winner
Yeah.
is someone who you want everybody to root for. At least in my opinion as a viewer, that's like almost like a producer's dream is what it kind of seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But with my edit in particular, like, I don't think I'm a villain, but the DMs and the messages and the comments
Oh
that I'm
God.
reading, they make me sound like I am. And, I think part of that is just being a woman
Yeah.
who
Oh
can
yeah.
be unfiltered and who
Right.
can be a little abrasive at times, because let's be real, who's not abrasive when they're not eating and they're not sleeping and operating at
Yeah.
100%?
And
But
trying to win $1 million.
yes, like I'm not
Right.
out here to make friends. But my biggest hope and, my biggest hope with all of this is that it shows younger women
Hmm.
that you don't necessarily always have to worry about softening yourself or
Mm.
being the sweetest version of yourself in order to be successful.
I love
Yeah.
that. No,
I
to
also
be
think
a
there's no,
woman,
yeah.
to be a brunette woman with a strong brow on television, like you're gonna get a bitch edit. That's just
Dude,
how the world
seriously,
works.
inevitable. So you might as well embrace it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Might as
That
well
is so
win
funny.
those challenges.
Yeah.
Um, that also leads me to the question about the workplace situation that you brought up on the show. And because I feel like that was sort of when you were starting to get more of like a winner edit. It was like, let's, empathize with
Yeah.
this person a little bit more. I'm curious if they pressured you to talk about that and like get more the emotional side out of you at any point, or was that something you were naturally going to bring up anyway?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, and I said this to myself before I went on the show, like, I want to be as open about anything in my life as I possibly can, just because you never know what someone else is going through. You never
Hmm.
know how sharing your personal story is going to help people, encourage people, inspire people, or just give people a little sense of hope, and make
Hmm.
them feel like they're a little less alone. And so, going into my season as a whole, there were a few different things where I'm like, okay, like, this might be hard to talk about, it might get brought up, it might not, but there's
Hmm.
a good chance that it will. And when it does get brought up, if it's brought up organically, like, I want to let the floodgates open. I did have some things in my life because I'm not going to share 100% about
Right.
what's going on in my life. And in my mind, I'm like, if there is something that I'm going to share and it's going to hurt someone who's in my actual circle,
Mm.
or it's going to cross someone else's boundaries, who's in my
Right.
circle, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable in that way. And that's why, like, even to this day, like, I haven't publicly said that the TV station that I worked with that caused me so much hurt, because
Right.
I don't necessarily want to
Right.
throw out any names or put anyone in the
Right.
spotlight when they did not sign up for that. But I do still want to share, because there's a lot of people out there who are in the workplace or in school or in communities where they feel like they are exiled and they are cut off and there is no hope in sight. And my purpose with
Right.
just sharing that story is, hey, like, this is some encouragement for you. I got through it and I'm living my dream now. You can get through it too, and everything's always temporary.
Yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. I feel like I have been lucky enough to not experience that kind of a workplace, but it really took me back to like middle school girls. Like
Yeah.
that's,
Hmm.
I was like, absolutely, that happened to like every girl at some point in her life. So
Hmm.
that,
Right. And it did feel natural too, the way you brought it up, because I feel like now a lot of shows, like for example, America's Got Talent, this second you get in, sob story first, and
Yeah.
then talent second. Literally, people would
and The
get on stage.
Bachelor.
Yeah, people would go on stage and be like, "I have 2 months to live anyway." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What is going
Really? I've
on?"
never watched
Oh my
America's
God.
Got Talent.
America's Got Talent, I swear, before they even tell you what the talent they brought in, they will tell you about everything bad in their life. And I'm like, I don't care if you do bad. You have to
It's
pass to the second round now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
what's the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you? And then sing. But that's
Right.
also why I loved that like when you were in the final and they were like, what's everyone's like reason or what's your why? And everyone was like, well, one time I like had a friend that died, and so that's why I want to win
Yes,
Survivor. And you were just like, because I want to win Survivor because I'm the
dude.
best player at it.
That has been one of my biggest gripes with people who make it to the end every single season, especially in the newer era. People do think you have to have a sob story to play the game. And
Hmm.
when I
Hmm.
went out there, like, don't get me wrong, like, I've had trauma before. I shared that
Right,
publicly. That's not why I should win the show. And in my
Right.
opinion, that's not why anyone should ever win the show. The show is about how well you perform, in my opinion, in 26
right,
days.
Yeah.
And so my reason for sharing that too, I'm like, I'm not going to, first of all, BS the jury. But secondly, if there's anyone out there who's watching who feels like they don't have the story, but they just want to play the game, go freaking apply, go do it. You don't need to have
Yeah.
this trauma in order to win the game or even do well at the game.
right, right.
Yeah.
No,
Totally.
yeah. I did like the questions they asked you at the end because there was this part where I think Christina asked you to
Yeah.
name someone from each person's family, and I don't
Diabolical.
think I know what me and Hannah, we've been friends for so long now, and we've been hosting this show. I don't think I know her dad's name.
Yeah,
I have
that
no
is so
Absolutely
idea.
not.
funny.
Yeah,
No, I
I mean,
barely know.
part of it is like some people are just terrible with names. That's me.
right.
But also imagine like you are not like eating, you're not really sleeping.
Yeah.
Like who, what
You're
in
like,
the
I'm a little
world?
busy.
I can barely remember my own mom's name at this point. Like I was
Right.
losing it.
Seriously. I
But
can't
at the
remember my
end of the
phone
day,
number.
like one of the cool things I think about Survivor and the jury in general is the jury can literally ask whatever the fuck they want, and they are so entitled to ask that. So
Hmm.
if,
Right.
Christina wanted to go up there and say, Savannah, like, what color would you dye your hair? And she didn't like my answer for that. And she decided not to vote for me for that reason. Like,
Yeah.
that's her prerogative. Weird prerogative, but that's okay. That's how the game works. So I can't be
Yeah.
mad about it. And honestly, it was a good TV moment. And I love
Yeah.
a
It's a
little
good
drama.
gotcha.
Exactly.
Oh, and I love that she was just like, she wanted you to try. You're like, I can't. And she's like, go ahead.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Christina and I actually had a lot more tension on the island
Mm,
than how it may have appeared in the show.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not totally sure like why all of that wasn't shown.
mm.
Maybe because I already
Hmm.
had tension with like Sage at some points and everything, and that was maybe the more relevant plot point to the story. But yeah, Christina and I did not get along out there at all. Um, but after the final tribal council, everybody goes back to the resort, Ponderosa, and we have about a full day at that Ponderosa resort. And the day after the final tribal council, Christina and I sat down. We had like a heart to heart, like we talked it out. And now, like, she's someone who I would consider a friend. Like, we'll,
Oh,
message back
wow.
and forth every once in a while. So it's crazy to see relationships on the
Oh,
island and how much they can change once you're back to like real life,
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
that is
That
very
makes
nice.
sense.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's also I feel like a lot of like you obviously worked as a reporter, but you didn't tell anyone that you worked as a reporter because you didn't want people to, think you knew how to play people. Like, what was the reason
Yeah, good with
exactly?
Yeah.
words,
Yes.
like manipulate. But then you told them you worked in marketing, which I thought was funny because that's also kind of using words to manipulate
So
people.
here's the difference. And this is just my experience with marketing. With marketing,
Yeah.
I'm at a computer, like I'm not necessarily doing the face-to-face conversation. With reporting, I used to go physically to someone's house. They've never met me. They didn't know I was coming. And I would say, "Hi, my name's Savannah. I know you just lost your husband, your wife, your son or daughter, whoever.
Mm,
I want you to basically be on camera for my story." And I would say it in a
Hmm.
much nicer way and, be a little more persuasive with it and softer with it,
mhm.
obviously. I think there's an art to getting people to, want to open up on camera. But that takes a lot. Like, that's freaking hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would be way more scared of someone who's a reporter than someone who's a marketer. And maybe that's just
that
me
makes
knowing a little bit
sense.
more about what people in
Right.
journalism really do. Uh, but, I also think at the same time, like, one of the things I've realized after the show is people are going to be scared of you for one reason or another. In my season two, this actually didn't make the cut, but someone on my original tribe started telling everybody that I was probably ex-military, which is not true.
But
But
Sage,
well, it was actually Sage who told a bunch of people that I
uh,
was ex-military. I'm like, wait, no, like
what? Oh my
I'm
God.
nowhere near strong enough to do any of that stuff.
That's
But
crazy of her.
yeah, so
That is so
people
funny.
people will, suss you out. And it's kind of funny because I wasn't being honest about my jobs, but not
Yeah,
in the
not
military
that
way.
far.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
But
wild.
also,
Yeah,
it's
it's
also funny because other people hid their jobs too.
Yeah.
And once you got out of the show and watched the season, was there any job that someone hid where you were like, "Who cares?"
Well,
I,
you know what's crazy? Most people who played the game with me for my first season, they were lying about something big. So
hmm.
Alex in my season, he does like the head of comms
Oh,
for
the
someone in DC, which is like incredible. He wasn't honest about that. MC worked in sales. She was not honest about that. Nate is this high up producer. Marvel films, wasn't honest about that. Rizzo wasn't honest about where he worked. Soph wasn't honest about the
Oh.
fact that she had gotten a full ride scholarship to Duke. So like people were, I feel like Steven was probably dishonest about something. Most people were lying about something.
Steven's actually not a scientist.
And Steven's
Yeah.
like, here's the thing about Steven, and I love him so much. He's so multifaceted. So he's like super smart. He's also like super into music. Like he's just such a well-rounded guy. I feel like he was so close to winning the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy how much people feel like they have to hide things about themselves.
It's
The
funny because
Nate
I feel like I understand, like, obviously a political aid, like, that's super,
Yeah.
like, sneaky.
Mhm.
Sage makes total sense. I do feel like Nate hid that he was a Marvel producer just because he didn't feel like talking about it. Because everyone would be like, oh my God, like, tell me about that. Like, I don't really see the connection
Yeah.
between how that makes you a survivor threat. I think he was just
Exactly.
like, I'm not gonna get into it with these kids.
So here's my theory. And I think Nate, first of all, totally should have told people because Jawan and Rizzo on my starting tribe are like huge Marvel fans. So it's like they were
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he could have had them like this.
Let's keep this guy.
Exactly. But I think there's also a fear about telling people what you do if you have a very high paying job. Because if
Mhm.
you do get to the end, people aren't going to want to give you $1 million, which to that, again, I'm like, dude, like
True.
who
Seriously.
gives a fuck about what happened off the island? Like, can we keep this condensed to the
Yeah.
26 days and the gameplay that was here? But that's
Yeah.
just how people are.
God, if I was Nate, I would just be making allies by just going to Rizzo or whatever and be like, I think he could be the next Spider-Man.
Right? That's all Nate had to do to win the game is just promise us all spots on the next Marvel film.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then
What?
someone like Mike White on 50,
Mhm.
obviously, like everyone knows what he does. Like
Yeah.
he must have gone into that being like, there's no way I'm actually gonna win, right? Like this is just for fun.
I think Mike probably thought he was going to do better than he did. And I mean, to be honest, I feel like had a lot of really good connections before the game really started, especially if you look at the
Yeah.
tribe that he got voted out on. He was connected with Christian and Angelina. He had met Ozzy before, so the two of them were kind of connected. And then also Mike is just like a really easy guy to just be around. Very like low pressure, never feel like you really have to like, impress him or anything like that, even though he is a very impressive person. So I think it was definitely a surprise when he went home as early as he did. Maybe he wouldn't have
Yeah.
won, but like to go out what was he,
Yeah.
the
That
fourth
was
boot,
fucked.
I
fifth
think
boot?
the thing with
Yeah.
him is if I was on that island the same season as him, I'd be worried that I would do something where he'd get a character inspired by me. I don't want to watch White Lotus and be like, is this me?
You see like someone who also has like a mustache and like
Yeah,
is acting
like
a little unhinged.
I just have a very bad personality. I'm like, I'm not like this though.
Well, you know what's so funny? He was telling, I think I saw this in the press, I forget who released it, but some of the characters in his upcoming season of White Lotus, I guess, are inspired by some of the people in
Oh my
Survivor
God.
who he
No
played with. So
way.
I'm gonna definitely be tuning
Ooh.
into that one, and hopefully, I mean, I don't want anyone to look bad from my season, but I kind of like would be very
No.
intrigued if someone does.
He did say something a little bit about it because I feel like when Survivor, maybe the first few seasons and whatnot, social media was not really a thing. So people just played to win and just kind of like themselves. But
Yeah.
I feel like now people think of themselves as more of a what's my brand? Like how do I represent? And I feel like Mike White touched a little bit about that. So I'm very curious about how that will reflect in White Lotus, just people being like they have their online persona that they want to maintain and their like offline persona.
I can see
Yes.
Coach being a White Lotus character. I feel like
Oh
he
my
translates
God.
well.
For sure. The
Those
yoga.
haikus.
The haikus.
Absolutely.
I think by 2 weeks in, I would have gone to him and be like, "You have two more haikus. That's
You would
it."
you would have sent him to Exile Island. He wouldn't have a choice.
Exactly. I'm
Someone
like,
did
I'm
that.
sorry.
Someone who was like working with him was like, you just can't talk to anyone, please. Like,
Right? But it's wild
Yeah,
because
just
like they
don't
were
say
kind of doing him a
anything.
favor. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When they did the pairs, when they were like, you had to
Right.
vote against the pairs, I think, yeah, the person who was with him was like, your
Go over
strategy
here.
is shut up,
Yes.
Yeah, literally.
please. He didn't. He could not. I mean, they got voted out. And I was
I
like, you could
know.
not help yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, back to season 49 for a second. Question. Why, at least from the audience perspective, it seems like no one ever practiced fire the entire season. And then at the end, you guys were like, oh, right, we have to do that. I wonder how you make fire. Like, didn't you
Girl.
know that that was maybe coming up?
For sure. But like, okay, so here's the thing. Before the season even started, I was doing so much preparation, like physically. So I
Hmm.
was working out twice a day. I was doing puzzles in my free time. I was reading books on how to be more social and human psychology and all that shit. And one of the things I actually did do when I was here in Atlanta was do this like fire making class up in the mountains, and they teach you
Oh,
how to start a fire from
wow.
scratch. Girl, I could not do it. So I tried. I really did try. It was a total fail. And once I got to the beach, I'm like, I don't really want to worry about this. Like, there were so many people so eager to do the fire stuff. And I'm like, all right, like, that's cool. Like, you guys have your moment. Like, I'll learn later. Worst case
Hmm.
scenario, I have 25 days to learn. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And then, you get to, okay, I got 20 more days. Okay, I got 15 more days. And then it starts getting to the point where you're like, I don't even know if I'm going to survive this boat this next night. Like, so why would I even prepare for something that's a week away that the chances are I'm probably not going to get? And before you know it, day 25 is here and you have to make that fire. And I think that a couple of days going into it, I'm like, I have a good chance at winning that immunity. So maybe I'm not putting myself in fire. But secondly, I feel like I might be able to convince someone, especially if they're in my alliance, to take me to the end. I was
Hmm.
genuinely so set on going to
Yeah.
the end with the three of us,
Hmm.
me, Rizzo, and Soph, that I was like, they for sure would want to take me to the end too, even if I am a big threat to win. That was not the case, obviously,
Yeah.
but I had a little more faith in myself in that final immunity and in convincing someone to not make me do fun.
Right.
That's fair. I
Have
But
mean,
you
literally
have
the
you used
first
that
time
skill
Soph won.
since then?
right.
Have
Do
you
what?
used that skill since then? Like, have you
No.
tried to?
No.
No, you're like fire once. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
using my oven from now on. I do not
exactly.
care.
I mean, here's the thing, like once you're out there, it is fun to do. Maybe not with like all that pressure on you and Jeff narrating the whole thing. Like that's obviously very stressful. But getting out there and being in all the nature, like I love that stuff. I love camping. I really like sleeping on the ground, to be honest. Like
Mm,
I love going to the bathroom in the ocean. Like there was something just so primal and like just,
right.
you're getting in touch with yourself on the
Hmm.
most basic level out there. It's a beautiful thing.
How much did this narration get to you during the challenges? Like
Oh,
Oh,
like when
Jeff.
Jeff,
Jeff being like, what are you doing?
dude, honestly, for the most part, I really liked it. Um,
Okay.
there's a couple of times where I'm like, dude, like this is freaking annoying. But other times, like when you're actually on the beach and if, for example, like you're in your different tribes, if you are, doing whatever you need to do, like untying knots, lifting something heavy, running with it, I'm not necessarily looking around to
Mm,
see where other people are. But I can hear Jeff saying, "Oh, Savannah's tribe is in the lead. Okay, the other tribe is closing that gap." If I listen to what Jeff is
right.
saying, I'm like, "Okay, shit, like now I got to get my butt, like, get I don't know, like I got to move a little faster, you know what I mean?"
Mm,
The only times when it was really annoying was if you were trying to focus. I think there was one challenge where there was like a maze with a ball and I could just hear like Jeff
Oh,
yelling like,
yeah.
and I'm like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. I could hear people on my tribe yelling. I'm like, I turned around at them too, and I was like, guys, like, shut up. Like, I'm trying to focus. But those moments where there's just so much pressure and you have to be so focused, and every little millimeter of a move makes such a big difference. Like, I'm like, all right, like,
Yeah,
you guys
someone
got to quiet.
screaming at you while you're doing a puzzle does not sound like it
no.
would be helpful.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
But in the times where you are winning or like the endurance challenges, for example, like Jeff's narration, like it helps pass the time, or it can also make you feel a little
Right.
good about yourself and like you're kind of a badass. And it can kind of be, some fuel for ultimately winning.
Right.
Totally.
Were you at any point like so tired that you were like, I think it's going to the resort right now would be so great. I just hope they vote me out.
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
I've always just been really like money motivated. I think it honestly comes from like financial anxiety that I had when I was younger.
Mm,
My parents, like, they did not come from money. And,
mm,
like growing up, like, we never, missed meals or anything. Like, my parents made sure we were always provided for, but there was always like a level of anxiety, I think, hanging over
right.
our heads. And I think even though my parents tried to hide that as much as they could, the kids can
Yeah,
still
you're
pick up
aware.
on things. Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. And so now, even though like when I've had like a really well-paying job and, had a little more security with it, I've always still had that financial
Totally.
anxiety. Yeah. So
right.
put $1 million on the line. Honestly, it could have been like for like probably like $500, and I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna do this shit.
Okay.
Would you have gone home if you were also bitten by a snake at the beginning?
I mean, I think you have to. I would have been so upset. I would have done everything I could to like stay out there.
Yeah, I
Well,
think if I
that was
really
crazy
wanted
because
it,
he was
yeah.
like, okay. They were like, you're just emotionally traumatized by this, so you have to go
Well,
home.
you know what it was? I think they had given him like fluids or like some sort of like
Mm,
nutrients or something. So it's like if they let
Hmm.
him back in the game, like it's an unfair
Oh,
advantage
it's
to
not
everybody else.
fair. Yeah,
Exactly.
oh,
Which like it
that makes
sucks.
sense.
It sucks so much because you can see how badly like someone wants to be
mm,
out there.
Yeah.
Um, Going through the whole like application process, like it's freaking hard to go through. Like it's months and months of
oh wow.
interviews and the psych tests and all these evaluations. And so then once you actually get out there to Fiji, it feels like it is this huge deal. And so to have that dream kind of taken from you because of an animal bite, oh, it
Snake.
sucks. It's so
Yeah,
hard to see.
That's
God.
yeah. Okay, so we want to play a game with you since
Ooh.
you did get the villain edit. We want to bring the villain out and just
Oh
ask you
no.
some rapid fire questions and get your honest take on everything.
You guys, I was
Okay.
kidding earlier when I said I wanted to be canceled on this podcast, but okay.
Okay, who was actually, and this is on 49 still, who was actually so annoying and was it Jeremiah?
Oh my God. Wait, you guys, I love Jeremiah.
Really? Okay,
I
I believe
love
you.
him. He okay, so to be honest, like we were never on the same tribe together, so I've only known him out of the game. He's
Hmm.
Hmm.
so freaking funny and like his laugh, even though it's like so extra in person, it is just so infectious and oh my God, I love him. I have like nothing but love for Jeremiah. He's the best.
So it was Jawan then.
I like Jawan out of the game. But here's the thing, like I'm grumpy, I'm not eating, and if I have like, some belongings, like I'm also someone where I'm like, I want my shit, like I'm very
Yeah.
territorial, like I don't know what it is,
He
but if
kept
you
taking your bag and you were
I
already like,
know.
what the fuck is up with this
No,
guy?
I get that. I'm on the island. I don't have many stuff. Let me have the stuff that I have.
Yes, and the hardest part about it is he's the sweetest guy. Like if you were to ever meet him, you'd be like, "Oh my
So
Right.
God,
sweet.
like he's like
Oh, I
total
love
teddy bear."
Jawan.
But dude, I had just like I think I was honestly just looking for anyone to like take out my like I don't know,
Yeah.
my
You were
anger on.
like little brother vibes, I feel like,
Yeah,
towards
yeah,
him. You're like, stop bothering me.
totally, totally.
Okay, who got a good edit that maybe didn't deserve such a good edit?
Oh my God, girl, you are like killing me with these questions. I mean, I'm trying to think. I feel like everybody honestly got a pretty good edit for their
Mm,
placement, if you know what I mean. There's some
mm.
Hmm.
people who like definitely I think were like lacking. Um, but overall, like I feel like everybody got the edits they deserved, you know?
That's good. It's
And I
good
think
that like Steven isn't secretly an
no,
asshole.
no, and like see that's kind of the point, or like the thing I mentioned at the earlier part of the episode is like everybody is so charismatic and like so strong socially. Even the people who might seem annoying on TV, like if you meet them in real life, like you're gonna be like, wait,
Mm.
no, that person's so cool. So yeah, like Steven's great, everybody's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Who smelled the worst by the end?
Oh my God. Okay, I can definitely say this one because I know he's not gonna get mad at me for it, but I love Rizzo, but he has like the worst breath
Oh no.
ever.
Oh
I
no.
know. And so usually like people's breath isn't bad. But we would go on like the reward challenges for the food. And so like then when you actually eat the food, like then you actually have stuff in your mouth that's gonna smell bad. Yeah, I mean me and Rizzo, like we were super tight. We get up close and have conversations, and I'd be like, damn, dude, like we gotta do
Did
something.
they do they give you guys like toothpaste or anything?
No,
Oh
you don't get
gosh.
anything. You get like women can have like tampons and stuff for like, your cycle and period and all that stuff. But yeah, like oh, and sunscreen too. And bug
Okay,
Well,
repellent. But
that's
yeah, that's
good.
it.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Is there like a porta potty they let you use or just
No.
no? Oh
No,
my
but
God.
honestly, like, dude, going in the ocean, it's so freeing. Like, oh my God, it's the best. I love I love
No,
going to
I
the
love to
bathroom in
pee
the
in the
ocean.
ocean.
How
It
how
took me 30 years to do it, and then I was like, well, I can't believe I've
Yeah.
been missing it this whole time.
Like just
yeah.
wait till you take a shit in the ocean, and your life's really gonna change.
That yeah, I don't
That's what
know.
I was thinking about is how deep do you usually go for that?
Pretty
So
just standing there, like making eye contact.
so it's a little tricky because it's like if the waves are like super intense, like you don't want to go all the way out there because you're gonna get like, swept away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there'll also be times where it's like low tide and like you can keep on walking through the ocean and you're still like ankle deep in the water. And so it kind of just depends on like where the tides are. But yeah, generally you want to be like at least like waist deep.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck Mary Kill. Uh Jake, Steven, Rizzo.
Oh my gosh. I would say probably kill Jake, uh, marry Rizzo, just because I love him so much, so dearly, and then I guess F Steven.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, yeah, great choices though, all three of them.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We wanted to
Yeah,
give
good
you like
options.
easy ones. Yeah.
Those are the easiest choices, I'm
Those
sure.
true.
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly. We couldn't think of anyone else to be honest.
I know. Maybe some season 50 guys, or I don't know.
Oh
There
yeah.
used to
Oh,
Okay.
be like an era of like super hot Survivor people in general. There's still attractive people on the show, but like in the teens and 20s, and like the earlier seasons too, like some of the guys and the women on the
Oh
season are
yeah.
just so hot.
Well then, okay, fuck Mary Kill. Devins, Ozzy, and Colby from
That's
50.
crazy work. I guess like I guess Mary Devins because he would have me laughing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess F Colby and kill Ozzy. Sorry, Ozzy.
Yeah. I think that's the
oh,
right answer,
God.
unfortunately.
You gotta kill Ozzy,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, I trusted you so much."
Ozzy voted me out,
That's
so
true.
it's a little
Yeah.
personal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay, that makes so much sense. That
He
makes
Yeah.
so much
deserves
sense.
it.
Yes. Well, also, I was wondering about season 50. I mean, you unfortunately got out early, but like while watching the season, were there any challenges where you're like, I could have done this so well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I would have
for
won this
50,
one.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like, and this is probably just like my ego and confidence getting into it now, but like any of like the individual immunities, like where
Hmm.
it requires balance or
Mm,
focusing for a long amount of time, like any endurance related challenges, I'm like, no,
Right.
I would have won
S-
that.
See, that's what I was thinking when
Yeah.
watching it. I'm like, I think
totally.
Savannah could have won this.
Yeah,
All the
Yeah.
like
100%.
balancing like your foot on a very tiny like beam
Yes.
situation, you would have
Yeah.
Yeah.
taken those.
It
No, I
helps for
know.
sure, like having small feet. But also I think a big part of it too is just being so like mentally focused. Like that's been a gift of mine. So,
That was great because I thought it was very impressive whenever like you're left at the end with to the end with someone like Sage or someone else
yeah.
and you're like, I'm not gonna let go. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna let go. I
Yeah.
think you should let go. And I was like, honestly, that's baller.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I wasn't trying to be mean or anything, but I'm like,
Right.
dude, I'm gonna win this, so you might as well save your
Might as
energy for
well.
the next, yeah, because like you're not winning today.
That
Yeah,
is
I mean, you
so
weren't even
funny.
like struggling by the end of any of those
I
challenges, I
know,
feel
I
like.
know. Yeah, I was doing okay, to be honest. I could have probably gone a lot longer.
That is where so in season 50, and I think you missed those two. There were like two celebrity appearances.
Yes, yeah, there was some.
Where were you annoyed that you missed any of it, or were you like, I'm good?
I mean, Zach Brown, like, I'm
Hmm.
not a country music fan,
Okay.
so take it or leave it,
Hmm.
I
Right.
I will say, like, I always love for a man to be cooking for me. So if Zach Brown is cooking me fish, like bring it on. Like I'll be there for that.
Sure, yeah.
I was very distraught that I missed Mr. Beast though, because
Really?
Okay.
oh my gosh, like the drama of it all, right? Like he's
Right.
Yeah.
coin flip $2 million. Like that's
That was
absolutely
crazy.
insane. And it's so funny because even though I was pre-jury, like, you get back to the US, you get your phones back and you start talking to people who made the jury or made it to the very end, and you
Mm.
start finding out what happens. And, they're telling you like, oh yeah, Mr. Beast came and now the prize pot is 2 million. And just being on the other side, you're like, wait, what happened? Like, it's just so
Yeah.
crazy to hear about.
So when you get voted off, do you immediately, or do you spend the rest of the time at the hotel, or do you go back if
Yes.
you're pre-jury?
So usually you go back to the US if you're pre-jury. So you would go
Okay.
back
Mm.
around like day 13 or 14 or something.
Okay.
But for season 50, it's different because we're all returning players. And so if
Hmm.
someone were to see, I don't know, like, I guess people didn't really know
Mm.
that I had played yet, but if
Right.
they saw like Jenna Lewis or Angelina
Could
back
be a
before the season
spoiler.
end, exactly. So they kept us
Mm.
there until the very
Okay.
end. It was a very long month. We're
That's
so ready to get
nice.
home.
Did
But
Jeff
then
come
did
hang
the,
out
the
at all?
jury, yeah, did Jeff hang out? And did
No.
people who were on the jury come back to the hotel and like fill you in on what was going on?
So yes and no. So Jeff is too cool for us. He like does not. He did not go to the hotel. He's also working too. You know what I mean? Like that is not an easy job to have. So we didn't see Jennifer. But as far as like hearing the tea from the other players, we heard everything up to that Blood Moon episode. So when Colby,
Oh.
Genevieve, and Camilla got out of the game,
Okay.
we had
Hmm.
heard all the drama. Um, and then they moved our pre-jury group to a different resort and they moved the jury people
Wow.
into that original. Yeah. So we were like, apart.
Damn.
It wasn't
Okay.
until we got our phones back where I'm like, okay, wait, so what happened? Like, give me yeah.
And Mike White was did not stay with you guys though at the
Yeah. He left. Which honestly, like I know people kind of like gave him shade online for it, but I'm like, okay, until you've played Survivor and you've
right.
been voted out and now you're at a resort and like the staff and everybody, like they make it as wonderful as possible, but it's never going to
Hmm.
compare to being home or being in a different place, especially after you've been like blindsided and devastated and your dreams been ripped away from you. Like it's always going to be hard to process.
I
So
know, but
I
also
don't
like
fault
Yeah.
anyone for leaving.
no, I saw that and I was like, man, he has money because he was like, I'll pay for it. I just put me somewhere else, and I was like,
I
God, okay.
know.
Yeah, he was like, I'm so
Yeah.
used to White Lotus and the resorts to put us in, and I was like, I get that, I understand.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can't fault
gosh.
anyone for leaving though. I mean, it's a crazy time. I'll tell you right now. Like it's crazy.
What I don't understand is how like normal and good, even like still on the island before they get voted off. Everyone looks so normal and good compared to how I think I would look after 2 days sleeping outside, not
Yeah.
having like access to anything. Like,
You know,
how does that happen?
so yeah, like they fans and everything, they call it like island hot because people like get hotter on the island. You're losing weight, so everybody's like looking a little
Hmm.
snatched. You have this sun, like the vitamin D, so everybody has like a little island glow, that tan to them. And honestly, like I think there is something like kind of sexy about, you get out of the ocean, your hair has like the natural
Mm.
waves to it. The guys have like a little bit of scruff. Everybody just looks a little better when they're stranded on an island, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So in season 50, if you were to, stay longer, who is someone other than Ozzy who voted you out that you were like, I would voted that person out by now?
Yeah, who would have been your
Oh,
targets?
okay. So honestly, like I would have loved to vote Suri out very early, and
Mm.
that is no shade to her. It's because she is so good. And now
Totally.
watching how she's killing it this season, I'm like, I feel so
Hmm.
vindicated. And honestly, like I kind of wanted to go after her at the very beginning of the season. But when I saw how people responded to Jenna, when Jenna went after Suri, I'm like, okay, like I cannot go after Suri. Like people would then turn on me and I can't have that. So
Right.
I'll go after Suri's like right hand man, who's Ozzy. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, like, that you stuff that worked out. Um, But yeah, I guess Suri.
That's, yeah, she's the mastermind, I feel like. And
She's
they're
so
starting to
good.
realize that.
I know, but here's the thing about Suri, you realize it when it's too late. And
Right.
like a friend
But
to
she's so
everybody,
likable too.
exactly. But a friend to everybody is a friend to no one when you're playing Survivor. Like in the real
Right.
world, like
Hmm.
maybe that's different, but in that game, like you can't trust someone who's having conversations and who's like
Yeah.
besties with everybody else.
Very smart
Right.
of Rizzo to latch onto her too. And I'm
Yes.
scared and curious to see how that's going to play out for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny, and I think it comes from such a genuine place because he's truly like this Survivor super fan, but
Hmm.
also a huge Suri super fan before they even hit that beach. And so for him, like having the opportunity to play with Suri, not just play Survivor, but play Survivor with Suri, like that is a freaking dream come true, right? So
Totally.
it's been fun
Yeah.
to see how it's worked out for him, and it's also been really fun to see like Suri in his corner too, and wanting to work with someone like
Yeah.
Rizzo.
It is very funny how people switched because I feel like the first two episodes, everyone was like, "This kid is so annoying,"
Yeah, I
and then everyone,
know.
and then Colby was like, "I want to be his dad."
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Well,
was like,
he
"What's
said that he
going
was like,
on?"
yeah, Colby, you're my father figure.
Right? And I think that just goes to show like how endearing of a person Rizzo is when you get to
Mm,
know him. And
Hmm.
like, trust me, I get it. Like, if I were to meet someone 25, fresh out the gate, they are coming
right.
very like, loud and confident. I totally understand how that can be, kind of maybe irritating to some people. But when you get to
100%.
know how caring and how kind Rizzo is and how passionate he is about things like his family, and caring for others, like it's so hard not to want to root for him and wish him the
Right.
best.
And he's
And
Yeah.
also, yeah, he's also playing for the whole country of Albania. So,
yes, yes,
I have been wondering, more so last season, if he is actually good at Survivor or if he's just very lucky. Because I
yeah.
think that Immunity Idol obviously helped him a lot. But in 50, I think he might actually be quite brilliant at this game, just
I
from
would say
studying it so much.
yes, dude. He's so freaking good at the game. He understands the game. He understands how to talk to people too.
Hmm.
And it pisses me off because I've heard so many like exit press interviews about that have kind of been bashing on Rizzo, and I'm like,
mm,
oh my God, people are just like, I feel like they just take certain things so seriously. Like, why does it bother you that he calls himself Riz God in his confessionals? Like, it's not
Yeah.
that deep. Um, and I don't know,
yeah,
it's also weird because a lot of the criticism is coming from like men who also have like had a little bit of an ego historically. So it's like, why are
Is
we?
that from 50? Some season 50 people?
Yeah, some season 50 people. And then also just like stuff I'll see online too from I'm just like, why are you guys like it's not that deep. Like it's
Yeah.
literally a nickname. Like we're having fun
exactly.
out here. If
Also,
someone's
yeah,
confidence rubs you the wrong way,
Yeah.
maybe it says something more about you than it does the other person.
it's also reality television. So some of it is like showmanship and all of that stuff. I would say
Yes.
I would not take it as far as saying out loud, "I'm the Dragon Slayer" so many times. Because at some point I'm like, stop it. Dragons are not even real, first of all, and I need you to quiet down for a bit. Even Rizzo went to him and he was like, "You can't say that to people out loud."
I know. Okay, but again, that is a testament to Rizzo's social game. Like he is
Yes.
Hmm.
truly good at this game. He knows how to talk to all different types of people, and so it's fun to watch.
I know.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. I was like, man, you're not staying after this. The
Right.
haikus were one thing, but the dragon slaying thing and the just like the quotes and all of that stuff, everyone was like, I think I've learned enough and it's
Yeah.
time to
Yes.
go home.
The
You know,
season 50 like dynamic of like old guard versus new guard is interesting too because there was the whole discussion about like we play this game with dignity and honor. Like I'm like, what are you talking about though? Like, so you're just gonna like tell everyone everything you're gonna do. Like that's not also that it's not how you're doing it and it makes no sense.
right. And
Yeah.
it's so funny because I saw, I think it was on Twitter the other day, but Devins made a tweet and he was like, did Christian, Emily, and I actually become the Honor and Integrity Alliance? Because they are like all working together so closely.
Hmm.
And so it's weird, like a weird way of framing this alliance. I'm not necessarily here for honor and integrity, but I do appreciate, someone who can stick with their alliance and be loyal to their people. Like for me, that's like so commendable. But to add the honor and integrity part, I feel like that's just like a way of,
Right.
making yourself sound like you're a little
Yeah.
like better
Right.
than everybody
Yeah.
else.
Because
Yeah.
Joe was like this a little bit too. And it's funny when someone is returning to the game because, again, we said that about Ozzy. I'm like, have you not played the game multiple times before and you know how it is? What are we doing? This is all about like, there's some deception. It was just funny hearing some of those stuff. And it's just like, you don't do that.
I know. Well, and it's wild too, seeing like most of the honor and integrity people are now out of the game, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
See how
very
far that gets
interesting.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So,
would you say was
yeah.
the most unexpected part of the whole Survivor experience across
Oh my
seasons?
God. Dude, honestly, like I thought the game itself was going to be like the hardest part for sure. Like 26
Okay.
days on the island and then playing another like week, like that's the hardest part, right? No, the hardest part was everything that came after that. Just like the
Hmm.
recovery process physically was really difficult. And then also like I'm a Survivor fan. I used to be chronically online, like, in the subreddit, like talking about the players that I like, the players that I don't like. And when the season was airing, I was like, okay, like I need to get off this stuff because it is so heavy and reading so much about myself and so much negativity about myself and like
Yeah.
not being able to escape it when it's in the comments and the DMs that I'm getting every
Yeah.
day. Like I thought that especially working as a journalist before and being on TV before, like I don't hate mail. Okay, like
Hmm.
whatever, like I could do that. No, like hate mail from Survivor fans is like next level.
How much strength does it take of you to not reply to every comment?
Oh my gosh, it kind of depends on my mood and like how
Right.
sassy I am. Yeah, like sometimes like especially the comments that are coming from people that like have no profile picture or are like the ones that
God, I
really grind my
know.
gears are like people who are like obviously very old, like boomers, and I'm like, why
Hmm.
are you even like doing this? Like you should know better because you're old. But I will say this because I will always try to respond to my haters on Facebook. I don't know if you guys know
Hmm.
this, if you guys are on Facebook much, but if you have good engagement on Facebook, Facebook
Yes.
or Meta will pay you. So
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes,
Yeah. Keep it
Oh, yeah.
coming.
yeah, so like I like when someone says like Savannah, you're so stupid, I will always respond on Facebook. And it's not like a ton of money, but I think I made like, $800 last month from just like some of the social media comments and like engagement. So I'm like,
You know what's
That's
a fun, you know what's a
amazing.
fun thing you can do that I've been doing? Also,
huh.
speaking of hate, you reply to the comments. Sometimes when I find the perfect hate comment, I reply to it and then I pin it
Oh, that's so funny.
and just let people go. I'm like, have fun. And the engagement
Right?
on that is perfect because
Like
people
Yes.
people
love
are trolling the person that's trolling
exactly
you.
people love dunking on someone
Oh.
who's being, evil. And I'm like, yeah, because like you're
Hmm.
being so mean, because some
Yes.
people are like, what have I done to you? Like, this is insane to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had this man, it was a man the other day, and
Hmm.
I wasn't even talking to him.
Yeah.
But he commented to me and he told me to shut up. And I'm like, what kind of man tells a woman to shut up? Like that is very weird. Like that's objectively weird. I
Yeah.
go to his profile, he has a wife. I'm like, this poor wife, like she need
Yeah.
blink twice if you need help, you know? Like it's
It is
just so
so weird.
bizarre. Yeah.
This is always coming from that family man in their bio who's just, and
Yes.
I'm like, go be with your family then. Why are you here?
Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, go be with your wife. My God, why are you
I
commenting here,
know. It's
weirdo?
crazy.
Yeah, no, it is very strange. But yeah, it's just sometimes it's just like people are like you can never tell if they're like bored, they want attention. Sometimes people like back off immediately the second you respond because they were not expecting a response. They would just
Right.
delete the
Yes.
comment. And I'm like, stand on business. If you're gonna hate me, then hate me.
Say it with your chest.
Exactly. Why would you delete it? Because I already screenshotted it, by the way, so there's no
Mhm.
deletion here.
Yeah. I did put someone like on blast. Like, I forget what they said exactly, but it was like, I've only done this once with this one person, and it
Yeah,
was just so rude and like awful comment. So I put it on my story, like, I pinned it and I put it
right.
on my story. And they ended up like changing their like whole account, like, because they were getting so much, like, people who were
Mhm.
like, what the fuck? Like, why would you say that? But if you're going to say something publicly on a public platform, like, own it,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Even though sometimes people like take it too far, like people who are responding, because you'd have people be
Yeah.
like, "And by the way, this is where this person works," and I'm like, "No,
Yeah, we don't need that.
Right.
no, no,
Everyone
no,
needs
no,
to
no, no,
chill.
no. I'm not gonna testify in a trial about how
Yeah,
I did
right.
had nothing to do with it."
I know.
It's
Well,
just,
speaking of
yeah.
toxic reality TV, what reality show from the 2000s would you have wanted to be on?
Oh my God. Like today, or like, well, I guess in the 2000s, I would have been like
Mhm.
7 or something. But
Either if you were like your age now in 2003, 2004 era reality TV, and what do you think you would have done
oh
the
my
best
gosh.
on?
I mean, when did Jersey Shore come out? Was
Yeah,
that
yeah, that
around that
was
time?
2000s, I think. That was like 2007 or 8.
Like that was just such a that was like my first like foray into the toxic reality TV, other than
Right.
like,
Hmm.
what was the Tila Tequila show?
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my God.
Shot at Love.
Yes.
We watched that.
I remember sneaking that show around my mom because she was very religious and like there was no way she was gonna let me watch that. But I just like
Hmm.
that's
That is so
crazy.
funny.
The dating shows, I have a partner now who I'm like very, very, very happy with. But if I was single,
Hmm.
like I think some of those toxic dating shows would just be so fascinating to have a front row seat to, by
Totally.
literally being in the show.
What have you
Next.
watched that show, Date My Mom?
That's the older one, right? That's not out
Yeah, it's
now.
It
it's
was,
no, no,
no, it was
no. It's on
MTV.
Okay, yeah,
MTV,
I was
older
gonna
one.
say
Yeah,
yes,
because you
yes.
mentioned your mom. Would you think if someone went on a date with your mom, they would want to date you based on that?
My mom is honestly like she's super hot. Like happy
Okay,
Mother's Day,
okay.
mom. Like she's a great looking woman. But we're also really different. Like she's very
Mm,
religious. Like she is, I don't want to say like a little prude, but
okay.
like she's different. And I'm more like I'm free spirited. Like I'll try
Mm,
everything like once at least, like we'll, we'll see how it goes, kind of thing. And we're just very different. So it kind of depends on the guy.
right.
But looks wise, like yeah, I think I stand a chance. My mom's a great looking woman.
Hell yeah. So,
Nice.
what about older seasons of Survivor? Because you're a Survivor super fan.
Oh,
Let's say from season 1 to season 50, and it doesn't matter you were a kid if season 1 when season 1 came out. It's you right now. You have a
yes,
time machine.
yeah.
Which season would you want it to be on?
Oh, so probably Micronesia, which
Okay.
for any like Survivor super fans, like that's where the Black Widow Brigade came to be. Like
Mm,
Parvati is someone who I've looked up to, but you also had like Suri, you had
yeah.
Amanda, um, like that was really like my first time as a young person seeing badass women take control, um, and like beat all the boys and like decimate them. And it was so empowering, I think, to watch as a young person. It's probably the first example of media that I can, remember, uh,
Right.
in my life that really showcases that. It's just fun to be part of. So probably that.
Totally. Where in the world is Micronesia?
Girl, I don't even know anymore.
I'm like, is that a real country?
I don't know where it is. I
Did
would
they
be there
invent
on the
that?
first flight. Yeah, exactly. They used to go to all these crazy locations.
I
Like,
Yeah.
know. I
yeah.
know. And
Did they
and I
just run
think
out?
So I think it's just like a cost thing. Because
Mm,
right.
now, especially because now, like the challenges that they have, they're so big. Like the obstacle
right.
courses are like,
Mm,
dude, they look big on TV. Like in real life, though, they're like larger than life. It's crazy.
and how long do you
Um,
Totally.
usually take to finish? Because I feel like we see maybe,
oh,
yeah.
kind of depends on the challenge, but I would
Okay.
say like for the big obstacle courses, maybe anywhere from like 30 to 40 minutes or so.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they cut that down a lot.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
my goodness. That also, like, I was wondering, because there's obviously so many big puzzles that, like, every season
Yeah,
has to do. They can't just keep doing the same puzzle. There's got to be just, like, a warehouse somewhere with, like, 100 giant circle puzzles that say Outlast,
right.
whatever.
I know. And like their art department they have so many people who work on the show. They have a killer art department who like constructs everything. But yeah, I think
Hmm.
they also are pretty good at taking like different variations of puzzles or obstacle courses and then putting them together to create something new for
Yeah.
the players. So it kind of just
Yeah.
depends on what season it is, but they have
Right.
a lot of people trying to make it a little spicy.
Were there any like challenges that you going into Survivor were like, God, I hope they don't do this one?
Not necessarily, because I don't know. I've always thought they're all fun, and like also like me and my ego, I'm like, I could do any of these. I could do any of these better and faster.
Yeah.
There were some challenges that I was hoping to do that I didn't get to do. There's one
Right.
called like the
Like
last
what?
gasp, where you're like
Mhm.
kind of just at the very top of like the water, and there's
Oh
like a cage
no.
over you, and you have to try to breathe
Oh
through the cage.
no. Oh
Oh.
my
Yeah, and
God,
like the tide
nightmare.
gets higher and higher, and so it gets a
Oh.
little tougher and tougher. But I
Oh,
love like I
panic
love
attack.
water. I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
see,
yeah.
that's where like it's like the mental toughness. Like I'm like I
Yeah.
feel like I would outlast anyone else.
Would you
Wow.
have wanted to do the one from 50 where they are auctioning and they have to eat like gross bugs to get
Totally.
the prize? You would do that.
Totally.
I feel like I would be okay with that.
It was so funny. I think it was Aubrey who said something like, I'm psycho, like I'll do this.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
Aubrey. I feel like I can see a little bit of like myself in
I love
Aubrey
her.
in her edit. Yeah, she's so fun to watch. But just like her attitude of like embracing it, I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, that would have been me too. I love it.
That's amazing. I feel like the one that I would hate the most is the one where you have to just hold your hand over your head for like
Yes.
3 hours or something.
Especially if you're by yourself too, because like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's like the camera crews, but they're not going to talk to you. Like, so you're
Oh
literally by
God.
yourself, just like this, like, oh my God, talk about going crazy, right?
Yeah. Every minute I'd be like, has it been an hour?
Exactly. I know. It's like mental torture.
Are you is there any reality TV show now, like it's happening right now, that you would like to be in, whether that is Traitors or something
Oh,
else?
oh my God. Traders would be so fun.
Yeah.
Also like Amazing Race. I know they've done
Oh
crossovers with
yeah.
like Big Brother and had them on Amazing Race before. And I'm like, I would love to do Amazing Race. Like my boyfriend and I, we love to travel. We're both like
Mm.
very competitive people. So I feel like that'd be so fun. Um, those are probably like the two that I like love. And also, honestly, I started watching House of Villains, which is so like
Oh
camp, but
yeah.
it's such a fun show.
It's like more campy traders.
Yes, it is. And
I
like
love
the
it.
Right.
characters are always so fun. I don't know. I
Yeah.
watched it for some of the Survivor players on the last season. Well, I guess it was really just one Tyson, and I'm like, oh my God, like I love
Is
this
there
show.
anyone on a reality TV show that you're like, I wish they do Survivor?
Oh my God, any of the housewives. I am like a huge Bravo
That's
girly.
very
So
funny.
like, yeah, any of the girls from like Atlanta where I'm at right now,
Yes.
or let me see, like Potomac. I love that franchise
Love
too.
Potomac.
Stacy from Potomac.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yes.
God, she's my favorite
I'm obsessed
person.
with her.
Yes, but I also feel like she's like, I feel like she could be tough enough to do it. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I like her a
definitely.
lot. And then Rhode Island and Salt Lake City, I also love. So any of those women on the island would be great.
Okay, so what would be your housewives tagline?
Oh my God, it's got to be something about like I can survive. If I can survive a jungle, I can
Can survive
survive
these
these
bitches.
crazy. Yeah, exactly, something like that.
Oh my
That
gosh,
is so funny.
amazing.
We also like talking about this a little. Do you watch Love Island at all?
No, no, I don't. It's wild because they're both filmed in Fiji at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh
We always
Yes,
yeah.
talk about this. I'm like, two completely different islands.
right.
And I always wonder if they ever filmed them at the same time.
They do.
Oh
Right, do
my
they run
God.
into each other at the airport?
Right. I don't think they run into each other at the airport, but when I was voted out of season 50, there was like a night because you're at a different resort that's closer to where like, there's stuff going on, right? Um,
Mhm.
there was one night where we saw a bunch of fireworks and we're like, is that the Love Island fireworks? Like,
Oh
Wow.
my
We
gosh.
so
literally joked about that. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
well, no, I know, right? And it's like it wasn't a joke, it was real life. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's
That is
crazy.
that is that is very funny. I love
Yeah.
that. Were
That's
you
so amazing.
like, how did you feel about, obviously getting voted out of season 50 is still disappointing because you want to
Yeah.
stay longer. But do you think playing season 50 you came at it with a different energy because you're like, well, I also
Yes.
have money at home that I
Yes.
could
And
go back to.
this was my biggest mistake. I'm like, if I ever play again, like I need to not have this mindset. But When I went
Mm,
into season 50, I knew that a bunch of people already knew that I had won Survivor
okay.
49. I didn't tell
Hmm.
them, but like they had heard through the grapevine. And so I knew I came in with a really big target on my back. And I
Right.
remember being on the flight to LA and talking to Rizzo and Soph from my first season and being like, you guys, like, this is gonna suck. I I'm pissed, basically. And they were like, Sav, like you just won. Everything else is house money. Like go into it having fun. Like this
Right.
is going to
Yeah.
be a great experience. And so that's how I approach season 50. I'm like, it's going to be an amazing experience. I love playing with these people or like these icons. Like that's a dream come true for
Right.
any Survivor fan.
Hmm.
And I'm glad I went, but that mindset also got me voted out day 6, right?
Right.
And I
Mm,
think
Right.
if I ever play again, like I need to be in that mindset of like, I'm gonna fucking win this. Like I know I can win it in my bones because for 50, I'm like,
right.
I'm not gonna win it. Like terrible mental attitude. And so yeah, if I ever go back or if I ever play any other game, like I want to be in a mindset where I know in my bones, like this is mine. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna win it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Less fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Because you know
lesson.
what's fun? Winning is fun.
Hmm.
It
Exactly.
is very fun. Money is fun.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I totally agree with you. Okay, we have
Amen.
another game for
Oh
you, and
no.
it's
Okay.
called Snuff the Torch.
Oh,
And basically, we're gonna give you a list of stuff, and you either gonna tell us to snuff the torch or just keep it alive.
okay. I love it.
Okay, first one is daylight savings.
Oh, snuff that immediately. Get that out of here.
100%.
Day one.
LinkedIn posts.
Oh my God. I made my first LinkedIn post in like a year, like this past week. I'm gonna say keep it. I
Wow.
know,
Really?
I know. I feel like a loser saying that, but
What was your LinkedIn post?
it was actually a post about how I got to MC an event here in Atlanta that raised
Okay.
money for
Oh,
Alzheimer's
cool.
Association. So yeah, it was a great like,
Okay.
I was happy to talk about it. But yeah, some of them are just like,
Yes.
oh,
I think
Well,
I'm
here's
yes.
what winning Survivor taught me about like
oh yeah.
PR
No, I haven't done
See
in
any
the
of
that
those.
digital
those
age
are
of
the posts.
AI.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
it's
people
everything. It's
because
here's
the
what my
post
divorce taught me about like
Yeah.
balancing
B2B,
my checkbook.
yeah.
I think if
You
you
know,
make it personal though, like it's nice to see like, oh, someone's like doing something. Because I don't necessarily feel like I can talk about like work stuff on like my like Instagram or in the same way, but I still want to
Yeah,
like, talk about things I'm doing. So as long as
okay.
there's no
totally.
like, yeah, AI slop or whatever, that's a different
Oh
story.
God, I know. What
Yeah.
about
Okay.
ending a comment with "Hope that helps"?
Oh my God, snuff. Passive
100.
aggressive.
Literally every time I see it, I'm like, gun,
No,
stop.
it doesn't help. You know what
You know it
helps?
doesn't
Shutting your
help.
mouth. Yes.
100%. I agree with you.
Okay. People who review fast food on TikTok.
Oh, I love that. Keep it. Yeah.
Okay.
And give them the immunity necklace. Like, I love it. Yes.
I
I
do too, and I
love
hate that I love it so much. It's very
any
addicting.
any kind of food reviews, but like especially when it comes to fast food, because like
Hmm.
how are you gonna talk about the Chick-fil-A nuggets in a different way that I haven't heard before? Like, bring it
Hmm.
on. I love it.
I
Yeah,
love
let's
that.
see it.
Yeah.
Carrot cake.
Oh, keep
Snuff
it.
or
Oh,
stay alive.
stay
Okay.
alive. I love
Love
carrot
it.
cake. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Controversial. Working out in the morning before the rest of your day.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna hate me, but I want to keep it.
No, I
I
assumed.
kind of
Yeah.
figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
We're not
something
shocked.
about getting it out of the way. We have the rest of
Hmm.
Right.
our day to just like relax. And then also knowing you've probably done the hardest thing that you're going to do first thing in the morning. Like,
Right.
oh my God, like then you're not dreading
Absolutely.
it. You get it out of the way.
I think the 2 times in my life I've done it, I've felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best way to live. Why am I not
I
doing this every
know.
day?
Yes. And then you
I
don't do it
know.
again for another like
Then I'll
5 years. It's
never do it
fine.
again.
I know. I feel like Hannah added this on the list, but it says owning 5 cats.
I did add that
Oh,
one.
And
Snuff or leave.
are you a cat owner? Is this about to get personal?
It might be a personal
I don't know. I have no idea.
attack.
For me personally, I would say I would snuff that. But like any
Yep.
cat owners, like I want to empower you to just live with all your cats and
Okay,
keep them.
I'm gonna let my
Tell-
cats. I'm gonna let the 5 of my cats know that they have been snuffed.
You do not have 5 cats.
I
He
do. I
does.
promise you, I have
Shut
5 cats.
Oh my
I have
You
God.
gotta.
5.
I
Well, I'm
know.
sure
He
your
needs a
cats are the
wellness
exception.
check.
I don't know. Okay, my cats are the exception for sure,
Yes.
but I do have five of them, and yeah, we invite friends over all the time, and we call it the Cat Cafe, and it's just
Oh my God. Wait, where are you based? I'm gonna come visit next
I'm
time I'm
based in New
there.
York City. Please, anytime you're in
Perfect.
New York, you're more than welcome to meet all the cats. They
Yeah,
love meeting people.
I need to experience the cat cafe.
You have to, you must. It's
They're
it's
very
it's
cute.
it's a lot of fun, and they're all different characters.
You're gonna change my mind on this. We'll revisit this question in like a month or whatever next time I'm there.
Yes. I have one cat like a normal person, but I do
Whatever.
love all the cats.
Right?
Okay, the snuff or stay alive, couples who share a social media account. I would also change that to couples that post like shared posts or whatever.
Okay, so shared posts, I don't know, we'll get to that in a minute. I have yet to meet a couple who shares social media where one of them is like not dicking around or being unfaithful. Like everybody I've
Right. Like there's a
known,
reason you feel like you have to do that.
for sure. Like there's always some sort of like weird like infidelity thing whenever someone shares like a Facebook page or something like that. In my experience, it's always a little
Hmm.
weird.
100%.
The shared like the collaboration thing,
Collab,
not
yeah.
not for me, but also like maybe because that's a newer thing. Maybe I just don't get it, right? Like I'm still
Yeah.
trying to figure out if that's like cool or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's cringe for like non-celebrities to do that. Like
yeah,
it's giving like here's like a joint statement about our breakup
right.
when nobody cares.
A Weston Amanda.
Yes.
I love it. I love when someone who I barely know posts on their story. For those of you asking, who is asking?
Dude, there's someone who
Tag
does
them.
that. There is someone who does that in the Survivor community, and I'm like, I guarantee you, no one gives two shits about what you're doing. Like, it is
It
the
is
weirdest
so
thing.
funny. A lot of you have been asking, show
Two
me
people.
five.
Yeah, everyone's wondering your take on this thing for sure.
It is the craziest thing. And here's the thing, like, if you want to say something, like we already said earlier, like say it with your chest. Like, don't feel like you have to come up with an excuse to share it. Like, share it. It's social media. It's so unserious. Like, you don't have
Hmm.
to act like you're like this influencer, you know? It's weird.
Totally.
It's also we can see how many followers you have. Like this is like if you have like 1 million followers, maybe I'm like
Yes.
if 100 people ask you this, then people are asking.
Yes.
But to have 300 followers, and sometimes it's someone who I follow who has a private account. I'm like,
Stop.
who? Your family is asking?
It's the five cats.
Yeah,
They're
it's
always
they have
asking.
their own
A lot of you
accounts.
have been asking me about wet food, and
Right?
About when's dinner time.
It is so funny.
and I'm here to answer.
Okay,
Like,
snuff or stay alive? Doing your taxes after winning
Oh
Survivor.
my God, snuff that ASAP. That was awful.
Does it make you want to
Girl.
be a fiscal Republican?
It literally makes me want to
That's
just skip
every
the
time I do my
country.
taxes. Yeah, I'm like, this
It's
is mine.
wild because the amount I paid in taxes, like that's far more than I have made like for my salary
that's
ever.
so
Like
Right,
funny.
right.
crazy. But yeah, I kind of just like tried to think like, okay, I don't like even when I won, I'm like, okay, it's not really $1 million. Like, take everything with a grain of salt. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
I
I
feel
painful.
like,
think
I'm sorry, if I'm paying 300K in taxes, I should be able to tell the government what they can and can't do with it.
No, because
where it
that money's gonna
goes.
go build a ballroom. Like, are you kidding me? Like, crazy.
I'd be like, I am sorry, this cannot be used for a ballroom, war, or some weird shit.
Yeah, there's stipulations.
Exactly. Please fix one highway at least.
All we're asking for.
I remember when my like winning $1 million innocence was ruined the first time someone won Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was watching it with my family, and my mom was like, well, he doesn't actually get to keep $1 million. They take half of it away. And I was just like, you just ruined my
I feel
entire
like this is not
life.
something you tell to a child, to be
No,
I
it
honest. Like,
know.
was
no.
like telling me Santa Claus wasn't real.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't want to learn that until I was like 21.
Yeah, but they
Right?
should
You're
then give you like $1 million and like $400,000
I
reality
know.
shows. Get on this.
It should be that way. Yeah, remember like when they gave all of these people cars? like
Yes.
Oprah,
Yes.
Oh, and
and
Oprah,
then
yeah.
they had to pay taxes on them or
Yep.
something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
stop giving me stuff that I have to pay money on.
That's crazy. Like that's literally like a punishment almost, like giving someone a
Hmm.
reward like that.
Exactly. No, exactly. No, exactly. America's Got Talent, I think you give you a $1 million contract, so you have to still work for it.
Oh.
Oh
And
Oh.
I'm just like,
wow.
what? No, I want to check my bank account and have that number there. I've already done the
Yeah.
work.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
No, it's a lot of stuff that are
Hmm.
just kind of like like you said. I'm like maybe I should leave the country. Like I
Right?
understand now when
Cayman
people like put money
Islands.
in the
Yeah.
Cayman Islands. I'm like I
Yeah.
would be in the Panama Papers.
I know, right?
Well, do you see yourself like continuing to have a career in reality TV going forward, or was this just a one-off?
You know, it's so funny. Originally I was like, oh, it's just a one-off. Like I only want to do Survivor. I only
Hmm.
had to play Survivor once for my dream to be fulfilled. Like I'm good. I'm
Hmm.
set. Um, but I had so much fun. Like now I'm like, okay, like what else can I do? You know, like I
Yeah,
feel like a
Yeah.
kid who's entered a candy shop and like, oh my gosh, like now I want to try everything.
I get
Um,
that.
so yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would call it a career in reality because I feel like, you know, I like maybe a little bit more stability, but I like the idea of approaching shows with, you know, this would be a fun thing.
Right.
Um, I wrote like this list of like life goals basically, and
Hmm.
there were like there were supposed to be 50 of them. I think I got to like 30 and I was like, okay, that's good. But one of
It's
my
plenty.
goals one of my goals or dreams for life is to have like a side quest. So like for
Hmm.
Mm.
example, if you think of someone like Shaq is someone who is doing like a million different projects. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He's a freaking DJ. I'll see him on commercials. I'll see him like, you know, doing stuff on TV for basketball. Like he's doing so many different random things. And for me, that's a dream. Like I want to be doing like maybe
Yeah.
reality, maybe some other like travel thing, maybe like something at home where I can do media, entertainment. Like I want to
Yeah.
be so diversified.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see me everywhere in so many different places, and it's just gonna be a fun way to live.
I love that. Yeah. No, that's
Amazing.
the
A
way to
side
do it,
quest
honestly.
life.
Yeah, the
Yes, yeah,
Shack life.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
We should
That's
all model our lives after Shaq more,
I
You
honestly.
know,
truly
the world would be a better place. I
It would
truly
be.
think. I truly think.
100%. Yeah. Well, Savannah, we kept you long enough, so we're gonna go to our final segment, which is Villain of the Week.
I love that. Okay,
Yes, so
love
because we
it.
treat our lives as a reality TV show, so each week, each of us say what the villain of the week is for us
Oh, I got you. So, like over the past week.
Yeah.
over
Okay.
the past week. So
Mohanad, do you
I'll
want to
start.
start? Okay.
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah. I went to get a haircut and I called the place where I usually go and to book an appointment with my barber who I've been, for years now, cutting my hair there. And the owner was like, "Oh yeah, come here at 2 p.m. We're good. He's here." I come and he's like, "Well, he's not here, but I can cut your hair." And I was like, "No. First of all, I don't like you. I hear the conversations you have with other customers. I do not want to chat with you. This man has, every time I cut my hair, has a new conspiracy theory to
Oh
share.
God.
And I'm not
No.
even talking about the stuff that you hear usually. Like, no, no, no. He has his own stuff that he
Oh
shares.
wow.
And I'm like, just about about how the world works. Some of them are very specific, like to Queens and Regal Park where I live. And I'm like, I don't think this place matters enough for any outside power to be trying to manipulate it.
Yeah.
Wow.
He would say stuff like, "Have you noticed recently there are less old people in Regal Park?" I'm like,
Oh.
no,
What's
no,
his theory
no.
on that? Where are they
Yeah,
going?
but that's the thing. He never tells you what happens. He's like, think
Mm.
about it. I'm like, I'm not gonna think about it. The
It's
second
like
I
I'll let you
leave this
draw the
place,
conclusions.
I'm not gonna think about you or this place ever again. And it's so weird. I'm like, this is like also I'm coming to my guy to cut my hair. This is like going to the dentist and like, well, the doctor is not here, but
Right. I'll
hey, I
figure it
have a
out.
hammer.
No, that would
I'm like,
not
no,
fly.
exactly. So I'm like, no, I know I have my guy. I don't even know what haircut I'm getting because
Right.
this guy
He
has been cutting my
knows.
hair for so long. I just say the usual. I don't know what the usual
What it means.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because they ask you like what here's the thing, I didn't grow up in the States, so like I'm not even familiar with the like measurement
It's like a
system here. Like
number. It's like a two
exactly.
on the side and a seven.
Oh,
I don't know. Boy haircuts are so
So
weird to
I
me.
yeah.
truly for the longest time I didn't know what an inch was. Like because I know centimeters, I know meters. That's what I
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to get a haircut and they asked me how many inches and I was like, okay, this seems like a small number.
Oh
And I did not
no.
Oh
leave the
no.
house for a month after because literally they cut it so
No.
short
Oh my
that I
God.
wanted to cry. So I'm like, no, I want my guy. I'm not gonna give you numbers. I don't trust myself to tell you what haircut I want. I'm leaving. I hate you for bringing me here. So that's my villain of the
No.
week.
I was gonna say you got the face though. It doesn't matter what haircut you ever get because you the face is money.
Oh, thank
Face
you.
card.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank
So
you.
you didn't get a haircut. So this is your pre-haircut hair
No,
still?
no, no. I had to come back two
Oh,
days
you went
after,
back.
and I
Okay.
finally found my
Okay.
guy, and I was like, "Thank you so much. We're
Nice. I was
here.
gonna say,
It
yeah, it
looks
looks
great
good.
now. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you." So Hannah, who's your villain?
Okay. My villain is also probably why I could never go on Survivor. So I'm currently at my mom's house this week for Mother's Day in the
Oh.
suburbs of DC. And it was such a beautiful day yesterday. I felt like sitting outside in the backyard, just reading a book, like having a drink. I'm out there for 5 minutes. It's perfect. There's a nice breeze. I start to see these little tiny, tiny red bugs crawling on me, and
Oh.
only a couple of them. So I brush them off. And then a minute later, I notice there's more, and they're on my clothes, they're on my
Oh
Oh
hands.
my
no.
God.
And so I said, nope, 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 that's it. Going back inside. Like, I've like developed a psychosis now where I still feel them crawling over me.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't even know what they were. They weren't fire ants, they were just tiny, bright red bugs. And
Oh.
I
Oh
just think
God.
any bug will traumatize me for the next 24 hours because I still feel like they're like in my hair,
100%.
all over my skin. I'm gonna like rip my skin out and like burn my house to the ground now.
No, it's almost worse when you
100%.
like don't know what they are because then it's like, oh my God, like they could be anything. So,
Right,
ugh.
right. Yeah, I can't
No,
handle
exactly.
bugs.
And you could
That's the
never
one
Google
thing.
them because if you try to Google them, the internet will be like, "Yeah, I know exactly what this is," and you have
Oh yeah,
2 days to live.
the
Yeah, it'll
poisonous.
be like the
Yeah.
worst possible scenario.
Yeah, especially on Reddit. I'm just like, okay, please,
Hmm.
mm-mm,
Or they're like,
don't
that's
do
a
this to
new
me.
thing. No one's ever seen these bugs before. You've discovered a new
Oh,
Right.
species.
you're patient zero.
Yeah.
God, no, that is very bad. Well,
Yeah.
Savannah, who's your villain of the week?
So, for a little background, me and my boyfriend moved last week. So,
Hmm.
we've been in this new place for like about a week.
Okay.
And, we're still getting used to the apartment complex. But, new area of town. And our new apartment just so happens to have the worst blinds. So
Oh
when
no.
we wake up in the morning, the sun and the light will enter the room at like 5:30 in the morning. There's birds outside, which normally sounds very nice, but those birds will start early, like so, like again around like 5 in the morning.
Ugh.
And then there's a garbage truck around like 6:30 in the morning. So all of this has led to terrible sleep for the past week. I'm like running on like 4 hours of
Mm-mm.
sleep every night. I'm going a little crazy. So my villain of the week is probably whoever constructed this apartment complex with the terrible blinds and put it right next to the birds and the garbage truck that will be on rotation every week now.
Oh
That is
no.
that is very
Yeah.
fair. And the sun. I think that's
Yeah,
Yes,
the
and the
that.
sun,
sun,
the birds, and the garbage truck. Those
nature,
are
and
all,
the garbage.
yeah,
Yes.
awful.
No, I totally get that. It feels so rude when the sun comes in when it like just. I'm like, just because you're out, you don't have to be here.
Exactly. And normally I love the sun, but like we need to agree to see each other at like 8 a.m. Like this is
Yes,
Exactly.
too
it's too
early.
much.
We just
I
got
love
blackout
how
curtains though, so hopefully that'll
I
help.
was gonna say, I love how you came from winning Survivor to being like, the sun and the birds, get those
Right?
fuckers away from me. I don't need any more of that for the rest of my life.
I got my fix. Now we need like ultra comfort. I'm like even more of a bougie
Yeah.
bitch than I was before I left.
That
It's
is very
fine.
funny.
Right. Would you ever like go camping again now? Or are you like
Well, yeah, I
resorts
love
only, please?
I love, love, love camping. It's fun. like, but there's like a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? So
Right,
like,
Of
right.
course.
if the sun wakes me
Yes.
up, when I plan for it during camping, like I'm fine with that.
Right.
Sweet. Well, Savannah, this has been fantastic. You were such a great
Yes.
guest. We're so happy to have
Oh,
had you
thank you
on
so
this. Yeah.
much. This is
Thank
so
you
fun.
guys. No, it was super
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
on here. And we will come back next week with more episodes.
Yes. Good luck with everything. We will see you
Thank
next season on
you.
Traders.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Love
I
you.
hope.
Thank you.
Bye.